This is a calm Italian bedtime story. Let your eyes close and simply listen. The light inside the bakery is already on. Not bright, not welcoming. Just present enough to say that something is awake while the rest of the street is not. Outside, the road is still holding the night. Shutters closed, cars asleep along the curb. A single street lamp humming to itself, unsure whether it belongs to night or morning. Inside, the air is warmer, not hot, warm in layers. Flour dust hangs lightly, settling on surfaces that already know it well. Wooden shelves breathe quietly. Metal trays rest where they were left, not stacked neatly, but correctly. Nothing here is arranged for display yet. This hour is not for customers, it is for hands. A jacket is hung on the back of a chair, sleeves folded inward without thinking. The chair is not pulled under the table. It never is at this hour. Someone moves in the back. You do not see them clearly. You do not need to. The sound of footsteps is slow and familiar, as if the floor itself recognizes the weight. A switch clicks. Another light turns on, softer than the first. The day has not arrived, but the night has loosened its grip. A large bowl is pulled closer. Flour is poured without measuring cups. The movement is practiced, quiet, almost absent-minded. In Italian bakeries, recipes live in memory more than on paper. The hands remember what the eyes do not check. Water follows, then salt, then yeast, crumbled between fingers that have done this thousands of times before. The dough begins as a mess, sticky, uncooperative. No one rushes it. A bench scraper rests nearby, untouched. It will be used later when the dough decides it is ready. For now, there is waiting. The radio is off, always off at this hour. Sound would only get in the way of what is already happening. Outside, a scooter passes once. Not fast, not slow. Its sound fades quickly, swallowed by stone buildings that have heard far louder things. Inside, the first kneading begins. Not aggressive, not delicate, just firm enough to guide. The dough resists, then gives slightly, then resists again. This is how it always starts. A small bowl with yesterday's olive oil sits near the sink. The oil has thickened overnight, darker at the edges. No one comments on it. It will be used later, without ceremony. A cloth towel hangs from a hook, already stained from years of mornings like this one. It is dry. It is trusted. Hands wipe once, not clean, but enough. The bench is dusted lightly with flour, not evenly, never evenly. Italian bakeries accept imperfection as proof of presence. The dough is turned, folded, left to rest. A timer is not set. Instead, a cup is filled with water from the tap, cold, then left on the counter. It will be emptied later when someone remembers it. The oven is checked, not turned on yet, just acknowledged. A palm rests briefly against the metal door. It is cool now. Soon it will not be. A wooden peel leans against the wall, scarred from years of use. Its surface is smooth, where hands grip it most often. In the corner, a sack of flour is rolled down from the top, folded inward. Not sealed. It does not need to be. In Italy, ingredients are not hidden from air. They are allowed to exist. Another light comes on in the front. It reflects faintly on the glass, revealing the street outside, still empty, still holding. The dough is checked again. A finger presses lightly. The surface springs back, slowly. Not yet. Time passes differently here. Minutes stretch. Seconds dissolve. A small notebook lies open near the register. Not for accounts, for notes. A date is written, a word beside it. Nothing else. The notebook stays open. In the back, a tray is lined with parchment. Edges uneven, corners curled. It does not matter. The dough is divided now, not weighed, separated by feel. Each piece is turned inward, folded onto itself, shaped into something round enough to become bread. A dusting of flour falls like quiet snow. Some lands on the floor. No one rushes to sweep it. That comes later. The first tray is slid onto a rack. The rack does not roll smoothly. It never has. A foot nudges it gently into place. In Italian kitchens and bakeries, tools are persuaded, not fixed. A window near the back is cracked open, not for air, for balance. The smell of the street enters briefly. Cold stone, damp pavement. It mixes with yeast and flour, creating something that belongs only to this hour. Outside, the sky begins to thin, not lighten, thin. A pale suggestion appears behind the buildings. Inside, the oven is turned on. The sound is low, a steady breath. The heat builds slowly. Someone pours coffee into a small cup. Not a mug, never a mug. The cup is chipped along the rim. It has been that way longer than anyone remembers. The coffee is not stirred. It does not need to be. A sip is taken standing up, near the counter. Not enjoyed, acknowledged. The dough rises again, covered loosely with cloths that have been folded and refolded beyond symmetry. A tray of sesame seeds is pulled closer. Another with coarse salt. They will not all be used today. That is fine. Bread in Italy is made with tomorrow in mind. The first loaf is scored, not with drama, just enough to give it away to open. The blade is wiped on the cloth towel, once. The oven door opens. Heat moves outward, then settles. The tray slides in. The door closes. The oven continues without comment. Outside, a single window across the street lights up. Someone else is awake now. The baker does not look. Inside, another tray is prepared. The rhythm has arrived. Fold, check, wait. The radio remains silent. The street begins to change its posture. Not busy, just less asleep. A trash truck passes far away. Its sound is softened by distance. Inside, the first loaf begins to color. The crust tightens, then cracks slightly. The smell changes, from raw to warm, from flour to bread. This is the moment the bakery truly exists. A cloth is adjusted on the counter. A tray is moved closer to the door. The front light is turned up slightly, not for customers yet, for readiness. The oven door opens again. Steam escapes. The loaf is pulled out, placed gently on the rack. It sings, just a little, the sound of crust settling. This sound has ended many nights and begun many mornings. Another sip of coffee. The cup is set down on the same ring it always leaves on the counter. No one wipes it. The second tray goes in. Outside, the sky gives up another shade of blue. The street remains quiet. The bakery continues, not rushing toward morning, not holding on to night, just working in between. Bread cools, heat lingers. The day will arrive when it is ready. For now, the bakery stays awake, and somewhere, without noticing when it happened, you are no longer needed here. The oven hums, the loaves rest, the light remains on, the work goes on. The door closes again. The sound returns to its steady, familiar, low tone, a warmth that does not announce itself but fills the room anyway. Time loosens further. Inside the bakery, there is no sense of hurry anymore. The work has entered its quiet middle, the part where everything moves, but nothing changes quickly. A cloth is lifted. Dough has risen enough to show its intention. Not perfect, not demanding, just ready to become something else. A wooden board is pulled closer. Its surface carries marks that no one tries to remove. Flour fills the grooves naturally. It belongs there now. Hands press lightly, not to flatten, to guide. Each movement leaves a small trace, quickly softened by the next. Nothing here stays sharp for long. The oven breathes again as another tray is prepared. The rhythm holds. In the corner, a scale sits unused. It has not been turned on in years. No one remembers exactly when it stopped mattering. Italian bakeries trust the body more than numbers. A small bowl of water is placed near the bench. Fingers dip into it briefly, just enough to keep the dough from clinging where it should not. The water is not replaced. It will serve until it does not. A broom leans against the wall, angled slightly outward. It was left there after the last sweep, not because the floor was clean, but because the night had moved on. Sweeping belongs to later. Outside, another window flickers on, then off again. Someone checking the time, someone deciding it is still too early. Inside, the first loaf is turned gently on the rack. Its underside releases warmth, slowly. The crust holds its shape. A faint crackle moves across the surface, almost a sound, almost not. The baker listens without looking. This sound does not need eyes. A small radio sits on a shelf near the front. Its dial has been left between stations for years. When it is turned on, it only hums. Tonight, it stays silent. A paper bag is folded open and set aside. Another is stacked inside it. The edges do not align perfectly. Paper in Italian bakeries is folded by feel, not symmetry. A pencil rolls slightly on the counter and stops near the edge. No one moves it. It has decided where it belongs. The oven door opens again. Heat escapes briefly, then retreats. The second tray comes out darker than the first, just slightly. Each loaf finds its place on the rack, not evenly spaced, not measured correctly. The smell now reaches the street, not loudly, but enough. Enough for someone passing to slow their step without knowing why. Enough for the building to remember what it is. Inside, the baker pours a little more water into the cup. Not coffee this time, just water. It is taken in 2 slow sips. The cup is placed down, upside down, to dry. Italian cups dry themselves. A cloth is shaken once near the sink. Flour dust rises, then settles again where it wants to. The sink holds a bowl that has not been washed yet. It will wait. It always does. A tray near the door is wiped down with the same towel used all night. The towel knows the work. In the front, the light is raised again. Just a touch. Still no sign. Still no door unlocked. Morning is not invited early. Outside, the sky has shifted again. Not brighter, just thinner. The color behind the buildings has softened. Edges blur. Inside, another batch is shaped. This one smaller, less precise. These loaves will be sold later, without names. Someone will point. Someone will nod. That will be enough. A small basket is placed near the register. Coins will sit there soon. Some left deliberately, some forgotten. Italian transactions are rarely exact at first. The oven continues. Heat builds and releases in cycles that have nothing to do with clocks. A timer on the wall shows the wrong time. No one fixes it. It has always been wrong in the same way. The baker wipes their hands again. Slower now. The cloth is damp. That is fine. The floor is checked briefly. Flour scattered. Footprints layered. The broom stays where it is. Outside, footsteps pass. Not stopping, just passing. Someone clearing their head. Someone awake without reason. Inside, the rack is nearly full. Bread rests. The smell deepens. The room holds it without pushing it outward. This is the moment the bakery belongs to itself. Before the door opens. Before voices arrive. Before the day interrupts. A final tray goes in. The baker leans briefly against the counter, not resting, pausing. The oven hums. The lights stay on. The bread cools. Nothing here needs watching anymore. The work has settled into its own continuation. Outside, the street will wake slowly. Inside, the bakery will remain ready. And without marking the moment, without needing to notice it, you are already somewhere else. The oven keeps breathing. The loaves keep resting. The light stays on. Morning will arrive when it arrives. The bakery does not wait for it. More Italian bedtime stories coming very soon. If you enjoyed this moment of calm, subscribe and like the video for more gentle storytelling.